Hey, Chef Mike here. A lot of folks have been asking how I got started as a personal chef, where the idea came from, and how I actually made it happen. So I decided to put this short little video together, tell you guys a little bit about how I came to the decision, and then the few steps that I took to make it real. Working in a variety of different kinds of restaurants, everything from quick service to family style to catering, and then my journey through culinary school, and then following that up with business school. And even through all of that, even when I was cooking, working the line, even when I started as a dishwasher, I was always interested in the business side of things. So even in those entry-level positions, I was observing and absorbing as much information as I could, watching every aspect of the restaurants or catering company, wherever I happened to be. Seeing what the owners dealt with, how they kept customers coming back, like how they did their marketing. I've always been really focused on the business side. After cooking in restaurants for maybe a little over 5 years, I started to really feel the negative aspects of the restaurant industry. And there's plenty of positives, but it was those negatives, the ones that we all know about, working every holiday and nights and weekends, and not being able to see family and friends, and basically anytime anything important was happening, those are the days where you really have to be at work. And that was kind of getting to me after a while, as I'm sure it can get to anyone. So I started just kind of thinking about what I could do differently. To be honest, I can't remember where the idea came from, what sparked the thought, but I can tell you what I started to do. When I was working in the restaurants, in my spare time, I was not working. No, back up. During the time that I was working in restaurants, I put together a website. I had this idea, and I just made a website. I said, hey, I'll be your personal chef. Obviously, a little more to it than that. Basically, the website said, hey, I'll be your personal chef. You may call. I will come and cook whatever you want for you, whether it's, weekly meal prep or, a fancy sit-down dinner in-home. So I put this website together, and it just kind of sat there. I wasn't really promoting it. I didn't know how to market. I didn't even have business cards at that time. It was literally just a website sitting on the internet. And about 6 months went by, and I started to basically just kind of let the idea go. Nobody had called, nothing happened, and I was literally this close to just forgetting about it and just accepting restaurant work. But then, literally days after I got my first call, and it was a learning experience. I had never done it before. I didn't know any other personal chefs to get input from. I was literally figuring it out as I went. But yeah, the first call came through. Ended up sticking with that client for over a year. I went back every week and set them up with a week's worth of meals. So basically, because of their dietary restrictions, they couldn't use a mainstream meal delivery program or order from restaurants. So it was very valuable for them to have somebody who could come and make their specific meals just the way that they wanted, using these specialty ingredients that they required. Organic, grass-fed, pre-arranged, things like that you don't always find in the restaurant, especially organic. So for the clients who have, that's very important to, this is such a valuable service for them, because they can't go out and eat. But anyway, that's when I really started to figure out my processes. how I was going to put things together. There was unfortunately a lot of trial and error with those first clients. But yeah, they stuck with me for over a year, and I did a lot of their holiday dinners and special events, and then things just kind of blew up from there. And about 6 months after I got that first call, I was making more part-time working as personal chef than I was working full-time in the restaurant. And so that's the time when I realized, like, I can quit my job. So I did. I left the restaurant and started working as a personal chef full-time. And that's when things really blew up. And, I've gone through my fair share of roller coasters over the years, with the ups and downs and kind of a lot of this learning from experience. But, it's all been incredibly impactful. And part of me felt like when I started that maybe I wasn't ready. Like, I can still learn more. I'm not ready to go out on my own and start doing this. But when I actually took the plunge and started doing it, I learned a lot. I learned a lot of things that I didn't know, and probably would have come with time, but I learned it so much faster. I probably learned 10 years worth of experience that I would have got in a restaurant would have taken 10 years. From a manager, like gradually giving little pieces of responsibility here and there. It would have taken a lot of time for me to learn everything that I just jumped into and just tackled. So in 1 year, I learned 10 years worth of things that I would have. In the first year, I learned about as much as it would have taken me 10 years to learn as an employee. Once I had that first year under my belt, things got a lot easier. And I'll do another video on the pros and cons of being a personal chef, because it's not all it's got its challenges, let's say that. But you know what? It's so much more rewarding. And I get to be my own boss. And, if there's a client that I don't like working with, thankfully this only happened once, but I'm able to, walk away. You can't necessarily do that from a job. Or, being self-employed, if I want to take a holiday off, I can do that. I might have to sacrifice a little bit of income, but you know what? To see family once in a while, I think that's not a huge price to pay. Whereas, if you're working a job and you want to take a holiday off, you might come back to find that you don't have a job anymore. So you don't really have those luxuries. I don't call it luxury, more options. We call it options because everything has a has a price. But yeah, I've really enjoyed the opportunities that being a personal chef has brought, and I've met so many amazing people. My clients are all wonderful, and I've got several clients now that have been with me for 1, 2, or more years. And yeah, it's very rewarding. Anyway, that's how I got started. And yeah, any other questions, feel free to ask. I'd love to share my insight and my experience with you guys. If you want to hear more about my journey as a personal chef, I'm definitely going to be posting more of these, so go ahead and follow, like. If you know somebody else who think they might be interested in being a personal chef, maybe they might just be a good home cook. Maybe they've never even cooked professionally. That doesn't mean there could still be somebody out there who would be willing to pay them for their services. So if you know anyone who's just a great cook, or share this video is all I'm trying to say. Share the video. Somebody who would be into this. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time. Next video is probably going to be on the pros and cons of being a personal chef. I want to give you guys some more insight into what this field is like. Anyway, take care, you guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.